Welcome back to Brian's Custom Auto, everybody. I'm your host, Brian, and today we're continuing on Nanner hammock. We are moving on to the inside, okay? We got the inside to do, we got the outside to do. Car runs great, clutch works. We haven't drove it down the road yet because I still have to put front shocks in it, but we'll get those. But we're moving on to try and take care of some of this inside here, okay? This car looks nice. Like, it's gonna be real nice. We got the paint for it the other day, and yeah, we're gonna just keep on moving along. We're gonna bring this joker back to life just a little bit at a time. So let's get started. So as you can see, there's a bunch of stuff I still have to get out of here. That brown console goes actually down there to Gray Ghost because that's an automatic console. We've got to figure out a console for this. I think I'm gonna try and build one like I did for that Challenger. But it's got good floor pans in it. There's no rust through. They taped over the holes, but that's all good. We got the floor mats, we got an India blanket, but more importantly, we got brand new carpet inside. So let's get started. Alrighty, been busy at it. Oh, got us a little box made up there just to be able to put the shifter boot on. That should take care of what I needed. The issue is trying to put the shifter boot straight on the trans tunnel. Was allowing it to hit this knuckle down here. So at least we're up above it, and it'll ride more up here and all that jazz. And it's metal, so it'll have something to hook to. And although it's open in the back and the front, it should still be fine. Now, that being said, let's go get the carpet kit. Yeah, it's pulled off the lift temporarily. I had to throw this seat back in, which had to bolt it in anyhow. Well, we got the carpet kit mostly in. I still got to trim the edges and lay it down and put the other seat in, put the seat belts in, the high beam kicker there, and then re-clean the carpet and all that. But and then build the center console for it. But as far as my box and the mating placement is perfect. And as far as the black carpet, it just changes the whole look of the inside of the car once you put it in there. And I got to clean the bottom of the seats and all that. But hey, it's coming together. Hang tight. I got a truck coming in. I've got to change the weld the exhaust pipe back on it. But as soon as it gets in here and does all that, we'll be good to go. So that's why I had to move the car off the lift, so we could do that. But we'll be back on the Camaro in just a few. All right, new day. We're sitting back inside the Camaro. Got it pulled back up here. We got them brakes taken care of yesterday, and then had to go take care of a whole bunch of other business. Anyway, so carpet kit is in, seats are back in. So there it is, all buttoned up, ready to go. Back seats are in, overlook the tools. Still got to do a bunch of cleaning. Now we're going to build a custom center console. So let's see what happens with that. So Lorelai put her witch costume on. There it is. Just stay over here. It looks so realistic. I'm gonna pass it off. Sorry. Oh no. All right, everybody, it's a new day. We plucking right on along on this center console here. I'm gonna show you where we're at. Keep in mind, this is just starting it. I've got a whole lot more work to do on it. So it's up on the side right now because my crappy welds, they might be crappy, but you know what? They hold. Ask me how I know. Anyway, so I've got some more. I've got to bend this back straight, bend that back straight. The heat from the welder made it do that, but I'm not stressing that because I got to put bars in there and all that stuff. Anyway, so this is just the basis of it, okay? I still have to build a step up here. That's another 2 or 3 inches. And then from here back is where the center console has to set in at, which you'll see on that one right there. And then up in here is where I have to fill this in, add cup holders and the shifter. So, and I think I'm even going to mount the gauges in up here. I'm not real sure yet. I'll figure that out once we get there. But yeah, that's where we're at. So I still have to add on another, I'd say 10 or 11 inches for the overall basis of it, and then start from there. But anyhow, this has to flare out a 1/4 of an inch back this way. This has to flare out a 1/4 of an inch back this way, and then the 12 inches back, and then the back end of it goes in on a 22-degree angle. So anyhow, yeah, rough draft of it, but yep, we just keep plucking right on along, and then I get to add in my awesomeness. So hang tight. It's been a few hours. Well, not really a few hours. I mean, I've been kind of off and on messing with this. Good God, I got to trim that up. Anyway, but let me show you where we're at on this so far. Now, I'm nowhere near done, guys. I've got a lot still to do, but this is the rough outside. I still have more I've got to do to coolify this thing. I think that's a word. If not, we're going to claim it's a word. Overlooking the mess on my table because I am actually working on it. But, so up here goes up under the dash. Just a little bit, but now we've got to still put a 3-inch riser on this that goes back at an angle. And that way we can put the cubby pocket right here in the middle. We may put the cubby pocket there, or we may just do an angular wall so I can put the gauges in right here. Okay? Then we got to plate this over right here, and the shifter has to go right up in here, in this area. Let me back this camera out just a hair. Okay. So 3 inches back from this line here is where the beginning of the shifter boot goes, and it's a 4-inch square. Okay, now moving back from here to here is where we're going to have cup holders, right? But then we have a step up, and yes, it's just a square step up. I haven't decided on if we're going to keep that a square step up or not. But then we have the armrest. That to that, from that to that. Yeah, this one is going to last a whole heck of a lot longer. But yeah, that's what we started with, and this is kind of where we're heading at with it. Now guys, before y'all go too crazy, yes, I've got some bending in the metal to do. I still have to do some heat warping. I'll show you all that as we go. But see how that has that step up in it? So this is the part here that goes up under the dash that I have to add on to the top of that. Okay, but instead of leaving that cubby right there, I think it's going to be perfect size to be able to bring this up like this. Just go straight across here and add in the gauges. Not the tack, but oil, water, and volts. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I hadn't completely decided yet. Okay, but I think that machined look of a metal center console will look really stinking good on top of the black seats, black carpet, and the shifter that I made. So just saying. And there's our gauges, but I can pull them out of that out of the the bracket. So anyway, we'll finish it up tomorrow. I'm done for tonight. I'm tired. I'm ready to go settle down and get some of this metal dust off of me. I love doing metal work, but I hate doing metal work at the same time because the grinding of the metal and cutting it and all that stuff and the welding dust, all that stuff gets in your sinuses and it stinks. I feel like I smell like rust. But let's shut our welder off. But yeah, so tell me what you think about that one, guys. And if you see any ideas that might be incorporated into it, let me know. All right, everybody, we're back. It's a new day. It's actually Sunday. We had a great church service this morning. A lot of other things going on. But you know what? I normally will come in from church and get right back on customer cars or whatever. And I'll spend 7 days a week working on customer stuff as long as I have it to do. But you know what? In the light of everything that's been going on lately, I think I'm gonna work on my stuff today. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I got the Trailblazer pulled up on the lift. Got a small noise under it I'm hearing. I don't know what it is. It may not be anything at all. But we're gonna look see if we can find out what it is. And we're gonna go ahead and put an amp in for the mid-range speakers, because you can't hear them over the bass. So, and that's with the bass all the way down. Got a little bit too much in there. And I know I could probably bring the bass down some, but why? When I can just go up with the mids. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't know how much of that I'm on video though. So anyhow, I left a questionnaire for everybody on which amp I should use, but YouTube only let it hit like 70 people. So who knows? So I'll show you what the after effect is. But in the meantime, I've got the con guarded by the dinosaur, so if you get close to him, he's gonna knock you out. But I mean, it's turning out pretty good. Instead of having that rectangle there, it's gonna be moved up there more, and then we're gonna put the cup holders back here. And I still have to mount that in, but that's already in there like it's supposed to be, mostly. I mean, it's doing its function. And I mean, yeah, there's a little wobble in it right here, but you know what? It don't matter because it's getting braces and mounted down to the trans tunnel anyway. But yeah, this step up right here, guys, we got to add to the front up there. And I think instead of making this a hole there, a cubby, we're gonna make it solid, so I can but yet at an angle, so I can add the gauges. I'm gonna put all 3 of those gauges across there. So we'll do that, make that look really good. But yeah, yep. So anyway, but we're gonna get back on that tomorrow. I'm working on my stuff today, and I may include that in this video. I don't know yet, so we'll find out. All right, so we used the JVC 50x50, get it all hooked up, and then I cranked it up and had all kind of engine noise and all that stuff. Thought it was a ground. And it was making another noise, so then I thought it was the amp. So I took that amp out, and I went and got the power acoustic, put it to the high side, because it's a 4-channel, so you can run high side or low side. So I put it to the high side, put it in. Same thing, so I knew it wasn't the amp that was the problem. Finally got it narrowed down to the driver's side speaker. The voice coil was busted in it, and it was grounding out against the body of the speaker. So now we're gonna go grab the speakers out of the boat, probably the radio too while I'm at it, because that's a nice radio. And I'll eventually put the radio in here if I don't put it in my shop or something. I don't know. Anyway, but we're gonna put the speakers in the doors, but I'm gonna do that later. First thing first, I gotta go get them out of the boat. But so that's where we're at. I got the amp hooked up in there. It's under the seat. It's not the most professional, but it works. And it sounds good. So I don't know if it will. Oh crap, I meant to fix that too. Let's see. Of course, it's talking. But anyway, everything works. So that being said, guys, anyway, so that took care of that. So we're heading down here to the boat now to pull these out. So overlook the bouncy walking because I'm fat. And yeah, we'll put those in at a later date. We got the carpet kit in this week. Got the center console started to be made. Got things going in the right direction on the Nanner hammock Camaro. So that being said, that's probably going to do it for this video, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and we'll catch y'all next week.